There's been a feature in iOS for quite some time now when running VoiceOver that enables you to copy the last thing that VoiceOver said to your clipboard. But if you later copied something else, which VoiceOver said, that would replace what you had previously copied. And there were times when you may have wanted to copy several things that VoiceOver said in order to paste them somewhere else. And so you might, in this scenario, have had to copy one thing, go and paste it where you wanted it, go back to the next speech phrase that you wanted VoiceOver to say, make that happen, then copy that, return back to the app where you wanted to paste it, and so on. Quite a number of steps there. Now in iOS 26, there's a separate copied speech type of clipboard that is available. And this feature becomes an available Rotor item in places where it can be used, such as edit fields. And you are then able, when you select this Rotor item of copied speech, to flick up and down to cycle through the most recent VoiceOver phrases that you have copied. You double tap on the one you want to paste, and it pastes. Or you can also, there's a clear item that you can double tap on to completely clear that copied speech clipboard to start over. And so this is now a really easy way to be able to paste a series of messages from VoiceOver, which you may have copied. This feature of copying speech to the clipboard, the feature itself works the same as it always has in iOS. It is this Rotor item that is new, and you can reorder the Rotor item or, of course, select whether or not it is present in your Rotor in the VoiceOver Rotor settings. And of course, in the Rotor items, you can perform a search to quickly get to it in the quite long and thorough list of items that you can have in your Rotor. So the way that the copying of VoiceOver speech to the clipboard works is via a 3-finger quadruple tap gesture on a QWERTY keyboard, which includes Braille displays with a QWERTY keyboard, like the Mantis Q40 from APH that I am using. It is the VoiceOver modifier, however you have set that in your settings. So it's VoiceOver Shift C. C as in copy. If you are using a Braille display with a Braille keyboard, this command is by default unassigned. And so you will have to go in and manually assign this copy VoiceOver speech to the clipboard feature, which is called copy speech. And where do you go to do that, you may wonder? I'm actually going to demonstrate to you how this new copied speech Rotor works in the course of showing you where you can find this ability to assign this keyboard command for your Braille display with a Braille keyboard. Because we're going to pretend like I'm going to write a note that lists these steps. And a draft, to be more precise, because I am going to use the Drafts app. But instead of my writing it out manually, why not have VoiceOver do a good amount of the work by way of copying these steps to the clipboard as VoiceOver speech? So that is what we are going to do, and then I will show you how easy it is to paste all those phrases into a text field. We're going to begin in the settings.
Settings.
So I want to indicate in my note about the steps that we begin in settings. And so I'm going to copy this phrase that VoiceOver just spoke, settings, to the copied speech clipboard.
Settings copy to clipboard.
So next, we're going to go into accessibility in settings.
Accessibility button.
And we will double tap.
Personalize iPhone in settings, back button. Accessibility, heading.
I just stopped VoiceOver speech, moved to the top of the screen there, and then flicked to the right to reach this accessibility heading. And I'm going to copy that to our copied speech clipboard to indicate that that is the next step.
Accessibility copy to clipboard.
Next, I am going to go to VoiceOver and going to repeat of double tapping on the VoiceOver button to activate it, and then going to the top of the screen, just in this case by touching in the upper left-hand corner, and then flicking to the right to get to that VoiceOver heading so that I can copy that to indicate that that's the next step. So we'll go to VoiceOver.
VoiceOver, heading. VoiceOver copy to clipboard.
Next, we're going to go to Braille in the VoiceOver settings and repeat the same steps to reach the Braille heading on that screen, and then copy that to the copied speech clipboard.
Braille, heading. Braille copy to clipboard.
Now we're going to move to the Braille display. In my case, as I mentioned, it's the American Printing House, or APH Mantis Q40.
APH Mantis.
I'm going to copy this to the copied speech clipboard to indicate that I'm choosing my Braille display.
APH Mantis.
And I will stop speech so that you don't hear my serial number. So now we're going to swipe down. We're in the Actions Rotor item here, and we're going to flick down to More Info.
More info.
And to indicate that we're doing that in my hypothetical note, again, we'll copy that more info to the clipboard.
More info copy to clipboard.
We'll double tap to go in here.
Braille commands button.
And that is actually what I want to copy. And so I land right there on Braille commands, which is where we're going to be going. So I'll copy this to the speech clipboard.
Braille commands copy to clipboard.
We'll double tap to go in here.
Braille. VoiceOver button.
I now moved to the bottom of the screen with a 4-finger single tap in the bottom half to go into the VoiceOver button, because that is where this option is. But I'm going to copy that VoiceOver button to my copied speech clipboard.
VoiceOver copy to clipboard.
And finally, we'll double tap.
Copy speech button.
And there it is. We're going to copy that to our copied speech clipboard.
Copy speech copy to clipboard.
And as you can tell by the fact that it's simply a button without any kind of a command indication, indeed it is unassigned by default. And this is where you would go to assign this feature to a keyboard command on your Braille display's Braille keyboard. So now let us go into drafts and demonstrate this copied speech rotor in action.
Keyboard visible.
And with keyboard visible, we are in the drafts app, which is placing me in a blank draft and in the edit field. So we're ready now to use this copied speech rotor. So this rotor item is near the bottom of my rotor list currently, and that makes it quite easy to find. If I rotor to the left, it's going to be, in my case, to the left of the edit item on my rotor. So I'm going to rotor left a few times.
Miss edit Copied speech. Copy speech.
And there it is. And it reads out the last thing that was copied to it. So it said copied speech. That's the name of the rotor item. And then it said copy speech because, as you may recall, that is the last thing that I copied, the last voiceover phrase that I copied. And so now we can flick up and down to review what is in this copied speech clipboard. If I flick down, we will go
Voiceover. Braille commands. More info.
backward through the items copied. So I'm going to flick up so that we move forward.
Braille voiceover. Copy speech. Clear all copied speech.
So there is this option to clear all of it, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to flick up.
Settings.
And there's our first item that we copied. So I'm going to double tap on this to paste it in.
Settings.
And now let's just go to a new line. So we pressed enter.
Accessibility.
And you can see I'm very helpfully, if I flick up, I am still in that copied speech rotor. And so now I can just double tap to paste accessibility.
Accessibility.
New line, flick up.
Voiceover.
There's voiceover, double tap to paste.
Voiceover.
New line, flick up,
Braille.
double tap
Braille.
to paste. Repeat.
APH. More info. More info. Braille commands. Voiceover. Copy speech.
And there we go. We've repeated this, and now I can see nicely on my Braille display all of these items. And so, as you can tell, it is just now so much easier to copy snippets of information that you hear voiceovers say for pasting into other applications because of this copied speech rotor item and its specific clipboard, which keeps a history of these items. And so I hope that this small but mighty addition to iOS 26 helps to improve your productivity.